Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this afternoon with Fred and little Winston, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Winston's ability to understand and respond to his obedience commands. The little corrections and the motivation that we give the puppies when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of that leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves the left hand free to give the correction, and the only correction that we give is a little tug and let go on Winston's training collar, and he's going to come home with his very own training collar, and you'll be instructed on how to use that during your follow-up training session. Now Winston is sitting very nicely at Fred's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done, and the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. The command is Winston heel, and at this point his job is to walk next to his trainer and to sit automatically when he stops walking to wait for his next command. So this makes walking your dog in the city a pleasure. As you can see, his tail is up and wagging, and each time that Fred stops his feet, Winston sits automatically without being told to wait for his next command. So if you're stopping to cross traffic or stopping to talk to a neighbor, your puppy's well under control and sitting nicely at your left. Now the next exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is the stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command. It's a one-word command, just a firm command to stay. The long sit stay when you're practicing at home with a young dog like this is about 30 seconds, working up to 1 minute. This helps to develop attention span and maturity. When Fred returns back to him, he will walk all the way around him as an additional distraction, all the way back around to heel, and then he gives them some pats for praise, and they're going to take off heeling again. Heeling's very important to my clients who live in the city because they want a dog who's well controlled on leash. And he's doing a great job of staying right with Fred's left leg, not dragging him. And each time that Fred stops his feet, he sits automatically to wait for his next command. And remember, your stationary exercises help to develop focus and maturity and attention span. This time Fred's going to call him, and this is the recall. The command is Winston come. It's a happy tone of voice, and he should come right in front and sit facing your knees so he's not jumping all over your guests. Fred's going to leave him in another sit stay. Gave him a pat for praise. Coming to you should always be rewarded and praised, because you always want your puppy to come to you. And Fred's going to call him in. And here you go, he's on a mission. Comes right in and sits right in front, and then goes back to heel position and back sitting. What a good boy. Now the next exercises that we're going to demonstrate for you are your down commands, and there are 2 of them. There's a down from heel position and a down from a distance. Always have your puppy sitting before you attempt to put him into a down. Fred's going to use the open flat of his palm straight down toward the ground and the one-word command to down, and then a stay command. The long down stay when you're practicing at home, and you practice these right in the apartment. You don't have to go outside. These are for house manners. We're just running them together to show them all to you. Your long down stay, start out at about 1.5 minutes, work up to 5 minutes. When Fred returns back to him, he will walk all the way around him just as he did on the sit stay, returning all the way back around to the puppy's shoulders, and each time that you return to Winston's shoulders, he expects to get another command. He's waiting for you to tell him what he's supposed to do next. And Fred's going to put him into another down command. This is your down from a heel one more time. Perfect. And Fred leaves him in a stay. And this time he's going to call him out of that command. And he comes right in and sits. He gets a pat for praise, and then he goes back to heel. And then the next exercise, or the last exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you, is your down from a distance. And as he grows and matures and you practice with him, you'll be able to do these exercises, a lot of them off leash or with the leash just dragging. Fred leaves him in a sit-stay, walks out to the end of his training leash. This is the only time that you use your right hand to give the command. He gives him that down command from a distance, and that was perfectly done. He didn't even hesitate. Now we've demonstrated for you all of the formal obedience commands. You're going to be taught how to incorporate these commands into your everyday living situations. Winston has done a great job here at school, and we have so enjoyed having him. And thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.